Welcome back to Her Story in Islam. I am Latifa. Have you ever been told that because you're a Muslim woman, your place is at home? That you're supposed to stay behind the scene? I'm guessing the answer is yes. We've all either had the experience or witnessed it happening around us. If you're new to our channel, kindly subscribe, like this video, and click on the notification bell. Today, let's dive into the life of Aisha bint Abubakr and how she remains a worthy role model for contemporary Muslim women. Who is Aisha bint Abubakr? Many people know her as the wife of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, who was married at a tender age, a victim of child marriage. Very funny. But who was Aisha bint Abubakr? May Allah be pleased with her. Out of the wives of Prophet Muhammad, blessings of Allah be upon him, two have received prominence above the others. The first was Khadija, and the second was Aisha. Aisha was the favorite daughter of one of the Prophet's favorite companions, Abubakr, and was the most beloved wife of the Prophet, blessings of Allah be upon him, after Khadija. After Aisha's marriage to the Prophet, blessings of Allah be upon him, the Messenger of Allah, blessings of Allah be upon him, revealed to Aisha, "You have been shown to me in my dreams on 3 nights. An angel was carrying you in a silken cloth and said to me, 'This is your wife.' And when I uncovered it, behold, it was you. I then said, 'If this dream is from Allah, He will cause it to come true.'" Aisha said, "I have been given 9 virtues that were not given to any woman after Maryam bint Imran, the mother of Nabi Isa as. Jibril descended with my picture in his sleep, until Allah's messenger Salha was commanded to marry me. He had married me when I was a virgin, and he never married any virgin besides me. His soul was taken while his head was on my lap, and he was buried in my house. The angels had surrounded my house. I am the daughter of his Khalifa and his Siddiq. My excuse was revealed from the heaven. I was created pure. I have been promised forgiveness of sins and noble provision." Aisha was a very intelligent and observant young girl with an extremely sharp memory. Due to her proximity with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, she was able to recount and educate the Ummah on intimate details regarding marital relationships, personal grooming, medical prescriptions, and behavior within the household. Aisha spent approximately 9 or 10 years of her life with the Prophet Sal. Her greatest asset was not her youth or beauty, but her piety, extraordinary generosity, ability to record the sayings and behavior of the Prophet Sal, her accurate memory, and her intimate knowledge of the Quran. She absorbed knowledge like a sponge, and this ability made her the educator and transmitter of the sacred knowledge to men and women. A great deal of the knowledge that we still have today about how our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, lived and behaved, was first remembered and then taught to others by Aisha. Aisha became so wise that one of her contemporaries used to say that if the knowledge of Aisha was placed on one side of the scales, and that of all other women on the other, Aisha's side would outweigh the other. She used to sit with the other women and transmit the knowledge that she had received from the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, long after he had died. As long as she lived, she was a source of knowledge and wisdom for both women and men. Abu Musa once said, "Whenever a report appeared doubtful to us, the companions of the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, and we asked Aisha about it, we always learned something from her about it." Hisham bin Urwa, prominent narrator of Hadith, said, "I have never seen anyone who could have knowledge of an ayah, Quranic verse, an obligatory act, a sunnah act, poetry, history, lineage, judgment or medicine better than Aisha. May Allah be pleased with her. I once asked her, 'What about medicine? How did you learn it?' She answered, 'When I was sick, the Prophet, blessings of Allah be upon him, prescribed treatment for me as did he when the people became ill. I also heard the people prescribing treatment to each other. Thereby I memorized such prescriptions.'" Aisha was a very resilient woman, always putting her trust in Almighty Allah alone. When the hypocrites conspired against her and made accusations regarding her honor and fidelity to the Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. An accusation of adultery is a very serious charge, and this slander created a huge deal of strife and discord in the household. Despite her anguish, Aisha remained steadfast in the belief that Allah would reveal the truth, and she was eventually acquitted. not through a trial of men, but by Allah Himself, in the clearest terms, through the following revelation. Surely those who fabricate the lie are a group from among you. Do not think it is bad thing for you. No, it is good for you. Every man will receive what he has earned for this sin. And whoever had the greater part in it will have a great punishment. Why did the men and women believers, when they heard it, not think good in themselves and say, "This is clearly a lie"? Why did they not produce 4 witnesses? Since they did not produce witnesses, they are certainly liars in the sight of Allah. If it were not for the grace of Allah, and His mercy on you in this world and in the next world, an awful doom would have overtaken you for what you repeated. Since you received it with your tongues, and repeated what you did not know anything about with your mouths, you thought it was a trifle, but in the sight of Allah, it is serious. Why, when you heard it, did you not say, "It is not for us to repeat this, glory be to you, O Allah, this is a serious rumor"? Allah warns you to never repeat anything like this again. If you are indeed believers and Allah makes the signs clear to you, and Allah is knowing, wise. Surely those who love to spread around slander about those who believe will have a painful punishment in this world and in the next world. And Allah knows, and you do not know. Quran 24 verse 11 to 19. The fact that Aisha's honor and reputation had been protected by a revelation from Allah could not be ignored by anyone. From then on, everyone was more aware of her high station with Allah. Aisha was a dutiful wife and a very generous woman. She endured poverty and hunger with the Prophet. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. It is authentically related that months went by without the fire in the hearth being lit, that is, without any food being cooked, during which time they simply survived on dates and water. Once, when the Muslims were favored with great wealth, she has given a gift of 100,000 dirhams. She was fasting when she received the money and distributed it to the poor and needy, even though she had no provisions in her house. Shortly after that, her maidservant said to her, "Couldn't you have brought a dirham's worth of meat with which to break your fast?" "If I had thought of it," she replied, "I would have done so." She developed the nickname, the Mother of Fragrance, for every time a beggar knocked on her door, she would touch the money with perfume before giving it to him. When asked why, she explained that the charity would reach Allah before it reached the beggar's hands, and she wanted the charity to be given to Allah in a fragrant condition. In another report, a needy person knocked on the door. She only had 1 grape, and gave it to him. When asked what the value of a single grape was as a charity, she quoted the following verses from the Quran. "So whoever does an atom's weight of good will see it, and whoever does an atom's weight of evil will see it." Quran 99 verses 7 to 8. It was reported that the Prophet, blessings of Allah be upon him, used to ask Aisha for advice. Due to her knowledge of Quran and Sunnah Hadith, Aisha became involved in the politics of early Islam and the first 3 caliphate reigns. During a time in Islam when women were not expected or wanted to contribute outside the household, Aisha delivered public speeches, became directly involved in war and even battles, and helped both men and women to understand the practices of the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. During caliphate of her father Abubakr Siddiq, may Allah be pleased with him, Aisha was honored with titles al-Siddiqa bint al-Siddiq, the truthful woman, daughter of the truthful man. During caliphate of Umar ibn Khattab, may Allah be pleased with him, Aisha continued to play the role of a consultant in political matters. During caliphate of Uthman ibn Affan, may Allah be pleased with him, Aisha had little involvement with him for the first couple years, but eventually she found a way into the politics of his reign. She led the first civil war among Muslims against Ali ibn Talib, may Allah be pleased with him, to avenge the death of the 3rd caliph. It was after the battle and a reconciliation between her and Ali ibn Talib that Aisha retired from active politics and continued to be a teacher. Islam has given women rights to be heard, pursue knowledge, and to contribute quota to society. From the story of Aisha, we can learn that women participation in politics or whatever field is not prohibited in Islam. Meet Aisha bint Abubakr, the Muslim woman who showed the world how a woman could be more knowledgeable than men, politician or warrior, 14 centuries ago. The woman with a brilliant mind and a remarkable memory. The Muslim woman who was consulted in religious matters and political events as well. The woman known for narrating 2210 hadith. Don't forget to like this video, comment and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories like this.